Hello, I'm Pastor Dave, and this is your Monday morning sermon recap for Monday, July 10th, 2023. Here we go. Now, this week we looked at Matthew chapter 11, verses 16 through 19 and 25 through 30. In this passage, we see something that should be familiar to us in this world today, and that is found in the reasons given to why people ignored first John the Baptist and then Jesus Christ. How we would say this today would be why people tried to cancel them. This should not be surprising to us, as everything we are going through has happened before. This is something I see more and more in this world, that we don't really go through new things. We just go about them in a slightly different way. If you do not believe me, go and look at the history of the protests in colonial America before the Revolution, and also how they dealt with Governor Hutchinson. They can come back and tell me we haven't done this before. So this kind of shows it's kind of a human thing. That also means there's a very human reason why we do it. And as far as I can tell, at least, people will change what they want to suit themselves. It's not like it's anything special. We will protest or boycott what we do not like, and even question the motivations when others like it. In large part because it's just not what we prefer or what we think is correct. It is a very human step, and it's a very self-centered way of thinking. There is another reason for this as well, and that is the fact that humans do not like to be challenged or made uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable or without challenge is not necessarily a bad thing. I would actually be a little worried if you constantly wanted to be challenged and constantly sought out discomfort. Now and again, for the purposes of growth, I can understand, but people can take it too far. And when it becomes coupled with self-centered motivations, this really can start to cause trouble and lead us to discomfort and challenges we do not want or did not intend in the first place. And into this world first came John the Baptist and then Jesus Christ, and both faced oppositions in what we would in the world today call canceling. But yet, through it all, God came to work in this world nonetheless. One thing that God always gives us is the comfort and ease. But that doesn't come to us as the world would expect. God doesn't make our lives instantly easy. And the truth is that God's work in our lives and in our world causes disruption. A call to ministry is a disruption. Giving is a disruption. A call to mission is a disruption, at least as the world would see it. But that's because in this world, when we're focused on this life and the ways of this world, we can try to do everything alone. It has a very narrow focus, a very self-centered focus. But God's view is different. And as we heard in the Gospel of Matthew, "Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." What burdens us in this world is not something that comes from God. It's something we do more to ourselves. But in the midst of it, God will come, and when we take on his yoke, God will help us with it. And when our focus is on God more than us, suddenly you're not worried about what others think. And in all honesty, that is that cure for cancel culture that many want. It's found in our faith in Christ and the change in us to focus on God more than ourselves. So that's your recap for this week. Reminder, we worship Saturday night at 6:30, Sunday morning at 10:45, and we live stream that 10:45 service on the WSUMC Live Facebook page. But until next time, I'm Pastor Dave, and I look forward to seeing you in worship.